Have you ever felt like you've been wasting your life? Like you're unhappy and you're kind of stuck in this rut, you can't seem to break free of it. Maybe you find yourself depressed and lonely and don't know what to do. But chances are you're doing some of the same things that many other people are doing to waste their life and be unhappy. And so today we're going to talk about those 5 things in particular that people do to waste their life and be unhappy. And so by going over these things, what I'm hoping to do is kind of reveal to you some of the patterns that you can self-reflect on and maybe change some of those behaviors so that you can have a more fulfilling and rewarding life. And the first way that you can waste your life is by living in the past. And because when you live in the past, when you think about it, it prevents you from moving forward. You kind of hang on to some of those past hurts, some of those past traumas. It prevents you from looking forward and thinking strategically about your future. It also prohibits you from stepping into your passions and your goals because you're just too caught up in the past. There's a lot of us that have done a lot of things in the past. We've made decisions, right? We're suffering the consequences of those decisions. Some of you are maybe you messed up your credit, or maybe you did something, wound yourself in some legal trouble. But when you think about it strategically, just look to the future and think about what is ahead of you. You have a whole life ahead of you. The world is full of opportunities. And so the more that you think about the past and harp on those things, the more your mind is going to be occupied with thinking about those instead of being occupied with the good things that you can look forward to and the things that you can do to educate yourselves and train yourself and find ways to be creative and express your talents and your gifts and your abilities. So stop thinking about the past, think about the future, and then you can start putting some action steps into place to do that. If you're looking for a great tool to help you plan for your future and craft your vision, I did a former video on that, talking about the feel-good productivity goal planning method. You can go ahead and click on watch that video, give you some helpful steps. Even have a template that's included down below for free that you can download and walk through those exercises. So the second thing that you can do to be unhappy and waste your life is to be selfish. There's a couple different ways that you could be selfish. You could be selfish with your time, you could be selfish with your money, and you could be selfish with your heart. Let's break them down a little bit. Be selfish with your time. So when you're selfish with your time, you're doing tasks that just involve you and what's good for you. You're thinking about your future, you're thinking about the things that you like, you're thinking about the things that you want, and the time that you spend here, the 24 hours that you have in a day, you're dedicating all that time to yourself. You're not looking at the big picture, you're not looking at the other people that are in your life. It's preventing you from forming relationships and partnerships and romances and things like that. If you self-absorb and you think about yourself, it is going to negatively impact everybody else that's in your life. By not engaging and developing those relationships, you're left on an island. And we all can't do everything by ourselves on an island. Trust me, I've tried it before. It takes a group and a community of people to do it. I mean, even the Lord knows that we can't be left alone, right? Make sure that when you allocate your time, you do dedicate some time to worry about you and your future, but you also have to dedicate time to your friends, your family, your loved ones, those that are in your circle, those that you want to be in your circle. You also can't be selfish with your money. There's a trend going on in our society today. We're all kind of on this quest for money. It's all about get your money, get your coins. The person that can accumulate the most wins in this game. And the game of life is not about how much money you can accumulate, but more importantly, the game of life is about how you leverage the resources that you have to go into important things, how you're leveraging it with your friendships, how you're leveraging it for experiences, how you're leveraging it to help people that are less fortunate that may not have as much money as you have. And if there's a good resource that you want to dive into that talks about this, I do challenge you to read this book by Bill Perkins. It's called Die with Zero. And ultimately, in his book, Perkins suggests that rather than aiming to leave behind large inheritances, people should plan their future finances so that they use up their wealth by the end of their life. The name of the game isn't who dies with the most, but who dies with the least. And this philosophy is based upon the belief that money is most valuable when it's being spent on experiences to create joy and memories. If you're blessed enough to have those finances, don't squirrel it away just so you can give it away to somebody at the end of your life. But what can you use that money for today? I guarantee you that if you spend the money today on things that increase your joy and happiness in life, then you walk away a happier person. And the other way that you can be selfish is with your heart. This is difficult. I understand there's people that have been in some traumatic situations. There's been people that, have hearts broken, and I've had my heart broken before, and it's sad. But you gotta Get over the fact that you have a broken heart. There's a lot of people out there that love you, that are going to care about you. If there isn't today, there's somebody out there roaming around the earth that's going to be the right person for you, that's going to care about you and love you and spend their time and energy and kind of building you up. And you got to go out, and you can't be afraid to find that person. So you can't just guard your heart 100%. You want to be careful. You want to be smart. You want to make good decisions and think through the types of things that you're going to share your heart with. But don't be selfish with it. Share it out. We all got big hearts. We got plenty of heart to share to other people. So I encourage you to start doing that today. Third way that you could be unhappy and waste your life is to avoid challenges. Now, I did speak to this a good bit on my video when I was talking about my things that cancer taught me. You can't avoid challenges, because challenges is a way that we all grow. Challenges, help us learn new things. It puts us into new arenas. It helps us meet new people. It helps us to find new talents, new interests, new discoveries. Go out and explore different things. It's okay to fail. At the end of the day, if you don't take a risk and you don't try something new, then you're just going to be stagnant and stuck in the same thing over and over and over again. And then today, with everything that's available, it's just a plethora of resources that are available, that are at our fingertips. You have YouTube, you have books, you have audio, you have videos, all kinds of things. If you want to learn something, go out and do it. I mean, I'm not a hands-on type of guy when it comes to like mechanical types of things. I'm more of a technical, thought-oriented type of guy. But when it came time to redo our house and work on things around the salon that my wife and I are building, I actually went into YouTube and I found videos. I actually learned how to redo my staircase. I learned how to put in sinks and toilets and redo the whole bathroom and paint walls and all these types of things that I'm not naturally gifted at. I had to go out and seek and learn. And you can do the same thing. So don't be afraid to take on challenges. You have to take on those risks. The fourth way that you can waste your life and be unhappy is to blame others for your lack of success. Ultimately, we're all responsible for ourselves. And yes, some of us have more privileges. Some of us come from better environments. Some of us may, have a tougher time and tougher economies and come from different types of adversities. There's a great book by a friend of mine, Hassan Kuba and Ashley, called The Unfair Advantage. And if you're struggling to find out what your advantage is, if you're struggling to find a way to differentiate yourselves from others and understand what your unique talents and skills are, read over that book, because what they argue is that we each have some type of advantage that's unfair to others. For somebody who's interested in basketball, maybe it's their height. They're naturally born taller than everybody else, and that just naturally puts them in a better place to become better at basketball just by the nature of the sport, right? There's people that are born more physically fit than others. There's people that are born more artistic than others. There are people that are born more talented when it comes to singing and arts and things like that. So we all have some unique abilities and gifts that are uniquely ours, and regardless of what our background is and different advantages or disadvantages, we can hone in on those. Now, you can't blame other people for keeping you down. There's going to be haters that are going to try to sabotage you. You're going to get in relationships that are bad and people hold you back. You're going to be considerate of others not considerate of you. We're in a competitive society, right? And so people are going to use leverage and things to their advantage to maneuver their way to the top. And sometimes that negatively impacts you as somebody else that's fighting for the same thing. But you can't blame them for it. They went ahead and they leveraged what they had. Think about what you can do to leverage your unique gifts and skills and find your path to happiness. Find your path to success. Find your path to the way to make life for you. And the final way that we can waste our life and be unhappy is by comparing ourselves to others. Listen, I don't care how much you achieved. I don't care how successful you are. I don't care how good you are in whatever your unique skill is, right? Or whatever niche you're in, or whatever profession you're in. There's always going to be somebody that has more than you, that's better than you, that's more attractive than you, that's sexier than you. I mean, you're not going to be the absolute best at everything. We all strive to be great. We all want to put our best foot forward. We want to do our best, but you can't compare yourself to others. Their journey is their journey. You don't know what they did along their journey. You don't know whether they sold their soul to the devil to get what they need to do. You don't know who they hurt, what kind of adversities they had to go through, what they had to sacrifice to put themselves in the position that they're in. So you can't compare your journey to theirs. Your journey is different. You're going to make your own decisions. You're going to draft your life and what you're willing to sacrifice and who you're willing to set aside and what you're willing to neglect to get to the path that you want to go. And maybe you don't want to sacrifice anything. Maybe you just want to go with the flow and live life as it is. Own your own responsibility. Own your own decisions. Own your own choices. And just be responsible for yourself and be happy with the choices that you make. If there's something that you want, something that you're striving for, then you go ahead and only you can make the decisions that you think you need to make, that you're comfortable with accepting the consequences for. Me personally, there was a long period of time where I tried many things, and after getting involved, I realized there's ways that I had to improvise on my ethical considerations. There was ways that I would have to be shady in doing business, and some of the industries I was in, there was just some commonly practiced shady, unethical things that I wasn't comfortable in doing, and by doing that, it prevented me from reaching a certain level of success. But you know what? That was my choice to make. It was certainly there and available for me if I wanted to do it, but I didn't. And so I couldn't compare myself with the $1 million producers because I said, I'm not going to do that. I am happy where I am, doing things on an ethical level, and that's going to prohibit my growth. Then I am going to find another way where I can accentuate the things that are positive about me and the things that I feel good about, and use that to pivot myself to make a way for myself. So there you have it. Those are 5 ways to ensure that you waste your life and stay unhappy. And so if you want to be unhappy and unfulfilled and waste your life, then you can live in the past, you can be selfish, you can avoid challenges, you can blame others, and then keep on comparing yourself with unrealistic expectations of what we're supposed to be. But if you want to live a happy and fulfilling life, then focus on the future. Go ahead and serve others, embrace challenges, be responsible for your own life, and compare yourself only with yourself. Compare yourself to what you're doing today versus what you were doing yesterday. Did you make any progress or did you not make any progress? The choice is ultimately up to you. We're all going to die one day. There's no doubt about it. And ultimately, none of that is going to matter. So what you can do is make sure that you do not waste your life while you're here on earth today. Take these necessary steps to reflect on yourself. And hey, if you want to learn other ideas on how to live an extraordinary life, make sure that you hit the link down below and sign up for my newsletter. I am working on a book on exactly that topic, and then you'll be one of the first to get it when it's released. And in the meantime, you'll just get monthly updates on tips and tricks and things that I learned along the way about how me as an ordinary guy can live an extraordinary life. And I want that for you too. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get updates and notifications when I release new videos. And it's been a pleasure sharing my journey with you. Hopefully, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.